I think that the title of our new record, So Much for Stardust, has a couple of different meanings, and the one that I think about, I guess, the most is just the idea that we all basically are former stars, you know, Carbon and whatnot. Still somehow, like, it's hard, the whole world doesn't, you know, get along, and there's a lot of strife, and I don't know, just think about it in those terms. But I think there's a lot of different meanings.
I think as a band, probably the biggest change over the course of, like 22 years, has been confidence. The longer we do it, the more and more I hear us feeling not arrogant, but like sure that we can do this thing, you know, like, and I think
settling in, yeah.
Settling in, where it's like, look, I don't think I'm that confident as a person in literally any other facet, but I know that when the four of us get in a room, like, we're gonna do our best, and our best keeps getting better. It's really strange playing some of the old songs now because I remember there are songs that I remember being like, "God, this is so difficult," and then it just kind of, now it just flows out of us. I turn around and Andy's just like, you know, he's got like 30 arms and just destroys it. So wow. Yeah, great, man.
What's up, MTV News? We are Fall Out Boy, and these are our top 5 favorite videos.
Our first favorite music video is I Don't Care. This was a weird one to shoot. I remember we did a lot of stuff on a rooftop, and and we had all these cameos with, you know, we were trying to use CGI and stuff. It was
sometimes it worked.
Sometimes it works. Yeah, you know, sometimes the effect works, you know.
There's Pharrell's in it, and
yeah,
it was a fun video to make, and I feel like I think about that video when I think about the song, you know. I think it's like a playful, fun thing. Our next favorite video is Dance Dance. This was a fun video to shoot because I think it was kind of the first one where our label gave us a little autonomy to do more of what we thought, and so we worked with our friend, this director, Alan Ferguson, and came up with like a fun John Hughes-ish storyline for the video. It was just fun. It was fun to like do one of those like nods to an 80s movie where you know, the nerds versus the popular kids, and everyone somehow knows the dance without knowing the dance.
I got to be two Patricks. I was Nerd Patrick, and then I was Nerd Patrick. It was awesome because I was me on stage, and then me, you know, Alan was like, and then you'll be a nerd, and I'm like, as opposed to.
Our third video is My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark. This video was meant to be a kind of a placeholder, or like just like a little video that was just gonna live like on our Instagram or something. We had gone and hung out with 2 Chainz, and we were like, will you just come in and like blowtorch a bunch of stuff? And he was very cool about doing that. And then it just ended up being the video, and it kind of spawned us doing, you know, 12 other videos, which was kind of a bad idea, you know, a continuous story. But yeah, this was the inception of that. He was like, I was terrified of the blowtorch. I don't know if that's the words he used, but it was like, he was like, I did not like the blowtorch. And then I would watch the video, and you can like kind of tell if you knew that watching it. And 2 Chainz, I think, also posted a photo before we got back together and was like, Fall Out Boy's back together, and kids were like, no way. Another of our favorite music videos is, we call the song Arms Race for short.
Oh yeah, there are the long titles. I forget about that. I remember the funeral scene being really cold, and all of the extras were really mad because we were out there for a while getting all this coverage, and I remember when it's like, okay, we're gonna do the reverse, and like every time we'd set up for another shot, everyone would be like, seriously? You know, it's like, it was so cold out there. But you know, everybody did a good job, you know, so it worked.
Before we did Dance Dance, you know, we had dreams of like, I don't know, we just wanted to go on tour and play shows, you know, and that album kind of was the one that launched a lot of it for us. So I think that in some ways, Arms Race and some of that record spoke to like us trying to explain how we felt and how the perspective shift and probably how it looked versus how we felt and that kind of thing. And I think that this video, you know, where it kind of is a continuation of Dance Dance, but it's like meant to be playful with where we were in the world.
Did you break your arm on this video?
No, but I did go through sugar glass.
Well, you went through the wrong, right? The mark was like wrong, and so you went through the wrong thing, right?
No, I think I went through the right thing, but they were like, oh yeah, sugar glass is like more glass than sugar. And finally, our last favorite music video is Hold Me Like a Grudge. This video was a lot of fun to shoot. It's meant to be a continuation of, you know, Dance Dance into Arms Race, and I guess this would be the third one, and trying to come up with an idea that was like The Incredibles, where the superheroes are like kind of like middle-aged and they're kind of like past their prime and not really superheroes anymore, and was thinking of like, is there a way to do that with an idea for Fall Out Boy? You know, like where we're just like in the suburbs. Patrick had made me think about it when he's like, I'm just like a suburban dad, and I was like, what if we're just like all past the thing, and like what if it kind of never happened? And our friend Brendan came up with this great idea where at the end of the Arms Race video, I break my leg and then I get a bionic leg and a superpower, and basically none of the rest of Fall Out Boys happened in this part of the continuum. Everyone gets to play like a
Weird,
strange version of the, like what you could be in an alternate universe, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to like just kind of run around LA as these other people.
They gave me, you know, there were like scenes and like scripted stuff, and so I like acted it, and I had this voice that I put on. I was a whole character. I was like, hey, you know, brother, because I'm like a big wrestler. And you know, the next day, you know, after the shoot, I was all worn out, my throat was all tired, and there's no dialogue in it. There's no, you know, you don't hear my voice at all. So you know, but that's commitment. You know,
there's definitely some kind of T2 reference to the Dance Dance Future Pete, which, if you go deep, and I'm sure we can go deep on this video, but you know, he's calling from a dystopian future where he's gotten his eye fixed, but somehow it's fixed to be worse looking, which is, you know, is what it is. And
available technology.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it.
I feel like also there's definitely a couple of scenes with the Jeep that, there's one that feels a little bit like the Back to the Future 1, like when Michael J. Fox had his Jeep. Obviously, I have a Snake Plissken. That's like the look, this Escape from New York look, and we made sure we went through that.
I was kind of evoking Mickey Rourke's The Wrestler, and then also, what was the Hulk Hogan? Was he Mr. Nanny? Was that the movie? Whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Or
yeah.
Suburban Commando. Like
Suburban
I feel like
Commando.
I wanted to be like halfway between like, you know, The Wrestler, but then like a little bit of Hulk Hogan in the movies, you know, because it was like such a silly moment in movies where, you know, those were pretty big movies.
There's like, yeah, totally. There's like a slight Weekend at Bernie's reference with Andy. You know, like I feel like there's a little bit of that.
And then obviously Avatar and Avatar 2 with our
the special
mocap,
effects. Yes,
yeah. Our mocap actor.
Well, I was going to say the mocap. I thought Joe was drawing the most on
Gollum.
The Hobbit.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
For right?
Yeah, the Hobbit.
Yeah, it's when he's the dragon.
When
he's the dragon.
Oh yeah.
The desolation of Smaug.
Yeah.
I feel like Joe really inhabited like the Benedict Cumberbatch thing. Joe was saying something about like, that dude just must love being in a mocap suit, you know?
I mean, I hope fans take away something personal with the record. I think we put a lot into this record. You know, it started before the pandemic, but I think was obviously informed by that time period. And, you know, I know it's different for you guys, but, you know, I think I really resonate with a lot of the things I've heard you say about what the record's about lyrically and musically and thematically. And I think, you know, like talking about the name of the record and what it means, I think it should be a really personal thing that, you know, it means what it means to you and how it resonates with you.